The grand halls of Buckingham Palace had never felt so suffocating. Beneath the ornate chandeliers and along the endless corridors of polished marble, tension crackled like a live wire. The king had summoned them. Prince William and Princess Catherine stood side by side, their hands discreetly intertwined as they faced the closed doors of the king's private chamber. The request, no, the order, had been sudden, allowing no time for preparation. They had only been told that the king demanded their presence immediately. The footman pushed the heavy oak doors open, revealing King Charles seated at his grand mahogany desk. His crown, though absent, felt implied by the sheer weight of his authority. His piercing blue eyes bore into his son and daughter-in-law as they entered. "Sit." The single word echoed across the room. William and Catherine obeyed, exchanging an anxious glance. The silence stretched unbearably until the king finally exhaled and leaned forward. This cannot go on any longer. William braced himself. He had anticipated this moment for weeks, ever since the whispers of rebellion had reached the throne. Ever since factions within the monarchy had begun to divide, creating an unspoken war between those who supported Charles' rule and those who believed William should take the throne sooner rather than later. "The monarchy is at a crossroads," Charles continued, his voice heavy with both age and authority. "There are forces at play that neither of you fully understand. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel." Catherine shifted uncomfortably. "Your Majesty, with all due respect, if there is something we should know." "There is," Charles interrupted sharply. He stood, pacing towards the massive window overlooking the gardens below. "There have been leaks from within the palace. Strategies being devised without my approval. Meetings held in secret." He turned to William. "Some believe you should take my place immediately." The words hit like a thunderclap. William stiffened, but he did not immediately deny it. "Father, I have never plotted against you," he said, his voice measured. "I know you haven't," Charles said slowly. "But I cannot say the same for others in your circle. There are those who see me as weak, who believe my reign is an era best cut short before it leads to the monarchy's collapse." Catherine spoke softly. "That is not our wish." "And yet," Charles countered, his voice edged with suspicion, "the whispers grow louder. The public adores you both. The media paints you as the future, while I am seen as a relic of the past." William clenched his jaw. "You brought us here for a reason. What is it?" Charles hesitated, then moved back to his desk. Slowly, he pulled open a drawer and placed a sealed envelope on the polished surface. "Inside is my ultimatum," he said gravely. "You will read it, and you will make your decision before you leave this palace." The room was deathly still. Catherine's fingers tightened around William's hand beneath the table. "What does it say?" William asked. Charles exhaled deeply, as if the weight of the crown had suddenly doubled. "Two choices. Either you pledge your unwavering loyalty to me, publicly, without question, or you prepare for the inevitable transition of power. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel." William's breath caught. "You mean abdication?" "I mean exile," Charles corrected, his voice low and dangerous. "If I sense even the slightest disloyalty, I will not hesitate to remove you both from the line of succession. You will leave Britain, disappear from public life, and never return." Catherine gasped softly. The words were more than a threat. They were a declaration of war. William's mind raced. The monarchy was at a precipice, and his father was clearly willing to go to any length to protect his rule. The idea of exile was unfathomable. To leave behind everything, their children, their home, their legacy, was an impossible choice. But to pledge loyalty so completely meant surrendering to a reign that was already crumbling. A sharp knock on the door interrupted the tension. A palace aide stepped in, bowing quickly. "Your Majesty, the Prime Minister has arrived for your briefing." Charles nodded, dismissing the aide with a wave of his hand. Then he turned to his son one last time. "Make your choice wisely, William." With that, he strode out, leaving the envelope untouched on the desk. The silence was suffocating. William reached for the letter, but Catherine placed her hand over his. Their eyes met, a silent understanding passing between them. There was no good choice. There was only chaos. And whatever decision they made next would change the monarchy forever. Subscribe the channel to get such videos.